my dear colleagues. First of all, I'd like to say I'm really so proud to be here and so appreciate the invitation so much, because it's every year I come here with great pleasure to see my dear teachers, Школе, Professor Славичеком and Professor Sato, and of course to share so precious clinical experience with my colleagues from different countries. So, I'm from a wonderful ancient Russian city named Tver. It is located 160 kilometers from Moscow on the way to St. Petersburg, and it has 450 citizens, 1.5 million with all regions around. So now you really understand that it's a little city of my country. So, and no pasta, no mosaics, but I promise you the wonderful winter. So come on, please, welcome to Russia. So. I want to talk with you about a very interesting tendency in our specialty, I mean the dental tourism. So, during our daily work we can usually see only the final result of previous treatment, and only guess what the occlusion was like before. So, and sometimes our patients make experiments on themselves, I mean the shock treatment during vacation. So they play in so-called Russian roulette. So because this treatment is easy, short, and one way. You understand it. So during the last 2 years, we have increasing number of patients suffering from pain, occlusion, and functional disorders after short-time treatment during vacation abroad. So I know that it's not usually a tendency for my country, so it's not unique for any certain country. So it may become our global professional problem, you know. So because imagine those patients lost money, spent time, and this is a really difficult process. So everyone can get a huge number of proposals on internet to join dental care with vacations. And I don't want to criticize the wonderful marketing approach. Yes, really, such the events, it's obviously okay by itself, and maybe we should probably stay endless about it, you know, because you've got the patient, money, and no problem in the future, I mean for dentistry. So, but it's really a difficult case. All of them have the similar complaints, and the clinical findings were also somewhat alike. So it's DMG pain, irradiating to neck, head, and ear, muscles pain, the speech and chewing dysfunction. So we talk about almost 5 days about those. The clinical findings was change mandible position, more often distal, and you remember don't push mandible backward, so like Slavichek says. Lost mandible supporting buccal region, dentarities, overloading, very steep occlusal plane, limited free space, change vertical dimension, non-curious lesions, recessions, tooth wear, enamel cracks, excessive teeth mobility, and so on and so on and so on, and ceramic issues. So I decided to present one clinical case, for example, of clinical consequence of dental tourism. It's not my best case, because for me now like examination, but it is going to be interesting from clinical point of view, because this lady was in my office in 2008. So, and now she come back from vacation, and this is Helen. She is 51 years old, and she applied for help after vacation, and after short treatment during vacation. And the result of this patient, of this vacation was 15 zirconium porcelain fused crowns. So, and the day after crowns fixation, she began suffering from pain from day to day. And the doctor says, you have adapt and try to grind some crowns, but no success. So, and finally she come back home for big help for adaptation, and she's coming taking up to more than 7 painkillers pills in a day, so with no success. It was terrible pain, and it was a lot of problem. And she comes at my office and asked me, help me please. She was crying, and she was in another town, 200 kilometers from my office to another town, so it was really difficult. So the main complaint was severe dull pain in both TMGs, more left, irritation to neck, head, and it was interested in left zygomatic region, out in the mouth limitation, sometimes left joint. Fast weight loss at 13 kilograms a month after the vocation. This is great result. 15 pounds and 13 kilograms. So. And finally, yes, credits. And depression and speech and tuning problems. She is a business lady, and speech was so difficult and so important to she. So we found in analysis very interesting findings. So she had nodular thyroid dysfunction, uncontrolled cramps, and blood pressure, high blood pressure. She needed in surgery, and it was osteochondrosis, and she has a really tachy problem and overloading on the work because she's a business lady. She has 9 stores, so it's really big problem. The occlusal index was 2.7. It's very high level, you know. And brain stigma I will fulfill later after the lecture of our professor. So, this is muscle palpation list. So you can see severe pain on the left side and spine, and big muscles reaction. So reactive was CNS muscles, medial tractors, and openness. And the patient marked her pain on the pain scale like a 9 and 10, and it was, she said that it was the worst pain in her life when she ever felt it. And look at this perforation in occlusograms. So you can see how the incisors and canines overloaded. Because no free space, the mandible is pushed back, and bite is very closed. And look at their ICP position of the tooth. Almost class 1 on the right side, and tooth-to-tooth relations on the left side. And you can see the lost absence of tooth number 3, 6. And midline shift to the left side. Look at the dental arch. Dental arch is narrow, and you can see many facets, chips, crown chips, and you can see over-contoured crowns, very over-contoured, especially the upper incisors. And look at their ICP position, no good support, no contact in more or less right and left side. Only contact was in ICP also only between the incisors. And you can see really the big shift on the left side. Look at the occlusal plane. It's very asymmetric. It's almost -1 on the right side and more than 15 degrees on the left side. And look at this steep anterior guidance. The anterior guidance was 65 degrees. It was very steep, and she fighting with incisors. This is ICP diagnostic. You can see the mandible shift backward on the left. And now we can see the first step diagnostic. We can see the change position of the mandible, very steep anterior guidance on the anterior teeth, loss of the posterior support of the mandible, diminished free space, decreased vertical dimension, asymmetrical occlusal plane, overloading of the upper incisors, somatic problem, thyroid dysfunction, uncontrolled climax, and so on, posture problem, of course, and tracking problems. So, and you see the southern axis system, all systems involved in this situation. And we decided to start from pain relief. So we decided to prepare the splints on the mandible to pain relief. So, and then consultation, endocrinologist and kinesiologist also, and remaining the model cast, remounting model cast in the articulator, and to prepare full diagnostic for wax up, temporary reconstruction, and then, of course, adaptation period, and final restoration and cantilography. So, it was myopathetic split on the lower jaw, and it was time before the bariator, so now we just got the variator, and maybe we will be to get the reference position the next time more fast and more easy. Thank you for Christian. And after the two weeks, we have another position on the mandible, you see, and no pain. It was so interesting and so important for us because she believed us. So after just 2 weeks spleen therapy, we have pain relief, increased margin opening to 42 millimeters, and mandible center. So, but interesting was the pain gone is quickly, but some muscles still kept reacting. So, and we decided to prepare. I used the method of Dr. Reichardt. So, and I prepare brush shaker on the splint. So, and you can see so strong contacts on the molar regions. So, and it helps me to grind, to adjust the splint, and our pain is gone. So, and now we are ready to do the full diagnostics. And you see the protrusion movement. It's a very important movement for TMG, and you can see it's repeatable movement, but no separation between protrusion and retrusion. And we found the severe retrusion movement in each movement. So it was surprised that the condyle was very flat, 29 on the right side and 26 on the left side. It's very steep, and you remember anterior guidance was 65. It's terrible for she. Chewing, it's also with big retrusion. Vaccines also was terrible. And you can see speech. It was a big problem for she because she's a business lady. And you can see the first cephalometric after the spleen therapy. Look at the profile, please. She is class 3 with tendency to 1. And we can see the very strong diminished angulation of upper incisors. And you can see she's a brachiofacial, or severe brachiofacial. And occlusal plane was about 8 degrees. Lower facial is a little diminished. So, but it was interesting for us because we revealed the old photo file in our database in 2008. She was in our office. It was interesting because it's a rare situation. We can get the chance to compare sometimes the now situation and before. So it was, I was lucky. So she's Helen, but in 2008. More younger, it's expectable. So she's nice lady, but look at the square mandible. So diminished the lower facial height. Then she looks attractive, but she has a problem. Look, and this is the tooth. This is her. She bought in 2008. So, no support, lower facial dimension decreased, and very interesting, a lot of attrition teeth. Look at it, so many attritions. And this is old style cybermetric and panorama. So, and you can see also compare the anterior guidance now and before in 2008. It was very flat facets, anterior incisors facets. So I think its pain was after they pushed the mandible backward. So you can compare now the old cephalometrics and now after the spleen therapy. Look at the incisors, please. The mandible is closed, is completely closed backward. And it was a first Barks checker in my life, and she's a severe Barks, terrible Barks. So it was situation in 2008, but you know that everyone from our patients want to get the big, bright anterior teeth. So its situation was acceptable, but she decided to wait approximately 8 years, and then she go to vacation. So, come back at now situation. This is our RP position after the splint therapy. Look at the right side and left side. There is a big gap on the left side, and the midline now is coincide. It's differently another position of the mandible, but pain is gone completely. So, no contact in buccal region, only incisors. And so we know that she is class 3 brachiofacial type with asymmetrical occlusal plane inclination, with decreased free space, distal mandible with rotation to the left, absence of occlusal contact in buccal region, loose ligaments, restitution, and all functional movements. And we decided to prepare the new occlusal scheme in this mandible position because the pain is gone and we decided to go ahead. So you can see the new occlusal plane, symmetric, right side and left side. It was 6 degrees. And we prepare the good occlusal support. We'll look at the left side. The tooth height is doubled. So, but it was no serious import because it's not aesthetic part. And you can see good support and retrusion control with premolars. The dental arch is wire, and you can see the sequential guidance according to Professor Slawicek. And now we can a new scheme, and we are ready to transform the scheme on the mouse, which we have to try. So, when the patients come to your dental office first, he agrees with everything you say. As soon as his pain goes off, he demands to save his crowns. So, at this time, my patient said, oh, the pain is gone. Maybe we save some crowns because you have to understand it, because I spend money, I spend time, so the OT is vital, so it's difficult. It was like hole in my neck, so it's very difficult. And I decided, okay, maybe we'll have some decision for she said, and we opened the free space by grading because it was possible with keeping the vertical dimension to open the free space and to release the mandible forward. And afterwards we transfer the wax up to the provisions. I prepare the direct restorations using the transparent key. Don't ask me about this wonderful color because I was restricted. It was not my crowns in anterior teeth. But now we have a good support. And you can see another kind of dental arch, lower and upper. And you can check the sequence, the mandible position, model reference position, and then wax up, and then provisions. And now we transfer to final restorations. Yes, the left side is, I don't like it, the left side. I see that the tooth height is doubled, so. But when she's smiling, when she's talking, it's not important. She has a nice smile. So, this is all sequence. And we decided to prepare the full diagnostic file. It's protrusion, retrusion, it's repeatable, symmetrical, and more longer. You see the more longer protrusion. This is speech. It's more forward mandible position, you see. And you can compare protrusion, retrusion before and after. You can see the elongation of protrusion. And you can see how changed the speech pattern. It's interesting. We open the mandible. So, and we prepare the tracing after the treatment. So, she now is class 1 with tendency to 3. Did you remember she was a 3 with tendency to 1? So, the skeletal class is getting better. It looks more better, the profile. Instead, the upper incisor is still diminished. So, I understand it. So, Slawicek analysis. She is still private official also, and you can compare before treatment, our final treatment, and after. I think she looks better and more important, functionally better. And now she was in my office before the summer school. She is now looks nobody you see. She is smiling. She is happy. She is mother. She is a grandmother. She is a business lady, and so on, so on, so on. So, and it was a nice day for me. And this is my technicians. These two guys was prepared Karen Greg and show. So thanks a lot for Karen who prepared these guys. And some conclusions. You know, first of all, I want to say that it could be not possible to treat this case. The happy end of this case was not possible without the knowledge gained on Slavichek and certain courses in Vienna. So it's really. And I think our postodontic treatment results show that rehabilitation is possible and patient can adapt to the new occlusion scheme, even if we cannot return to one's native bite, because the final bite is not really Swiss bite previously, so it's really. So it confirms that our stomatognostic system is very adaptable if the changes progress minimally, slowly, and constantly. And look at this wonderful picture. Yeah, it's happy days here in Vienna and in France. So, and I have one question. Is it possible to prepare some list with the names of dentists in different countries on internet and VieSID? In VieSID, maybe we can share, we can delegate our patients in different countries. So it will be wonderful for us. So, and not so dangerous for our patients. So thank you much for your kind attention.